Yo, yo.
I got me son. I got me son with me.
Drag me in one.
It's an awesome day. I got me son with me. I know how long you've been wanting to see him. Like forever, right? I've been getting the comments. What's Phillip doing? Why isn't Phillip in the videos? I just love it when you and Phillip do videos. Anyway, so today I drug him in.
I feel like most of this is just a ploy just to get me in one. None of those comments exist. What we got going?
So we're making homemade lotion today. We're going to try to do a short video. We're going to try to pack it with information. So you just hang on, guys, because here we come. All right, so I got my jars from SKS Bottles. I've got them out here. This is alcohol, and we're misting them with alcohol. So these things have been misted. You can't boil them and sanitize them like you can glass, so don't try it. They melt. All right, we took everything that we've used.
I feel as if you tried it once.
I did, my very first lotion video. So, what you do is, you want to go out there and see who that customer is?
Yes.
Okay, so what you're doing is you're sanitizing them as best you can. They come in those bags all sealed up. They say they're clean. I hose them down with alcohol. So there you go. All right. So then everything else that you've used has been washed first in just soapy water, and then you have put it in bleach and soapy water after you've got any bad things that was on it, you know, whatever dirt, whatever grime. We're going to do a final bleach and water, okay, and dish detergent. Then we lay it out on a sanitary towel that just came out of the dryer, or we put it on paper towels, and then we spray everything with alcohol. We use paper towels and we clean it. The water bonds to the alcohol, which causes the water to come completely off of the item, so therefore there's no water accidentally in your container that would cause mold growth in your lotion. All right, so everything's been bleached, everything is sanitary. By the time you get through, your hands feel like that, you know, you've been bleached. That's when you know you did it right. All your surfaces, your stove, your counters, everything has been bleached. Bleachy soapy water on your scale. Be careful about the screens, because sometimes some of them liquids can get in those screens behind where the numbers are and ruin them. Some of them are watertight. All right, so we're using all kinds of Essential Depot products, which I'll be talking to you more as we go. You can stay up there and watch the customers.
You need to make a black one too, just for diversity.
Hey, hey Jacob, do you want to be in the video?
No.
Where, Baba?
Ah! He says, if I have to do it, you should have to do it. Hey, don't hurt him. He fell off the porch steps this morning.
Oh.
We got to be careful with him. We can't break him. His mama's coming today. We'd be in trouble if we broke him. Okay, so after dealing with customers and taking all their money, we are now back to lotion making.
Yeah.
We got everything staying warm over there on the stove.
Gang, gang.
And I've talked to you about the cleaning thing. Now I'm going to talk to you about the oils. All right, so now we're doing a 300 ounce. So many people don't want to do 300 ounces at one time. So I'm going to give you a 100 ounce recipe. And this is for my famous day cream that flies out of the stores. You put a tester out on your table and you just start doing this to people, and they'll be coming back and buying. And you can even use it on your hair, just a little bit. Rub it on your fingers and rub it through your hair. It heals your hair. People with strange, like, miscolorations and frizzies, you'll see the color come back and the frizzies just disappear as you use it. Okay, so it's 75 ounces of water. 75 ounces of water, 4 ounces of shea butter, 1 ounce of coconut oil, 1 ounce of olive oil, 1 ounce of argan oil, 1 ounce of castor oil, 2 ounces of stearic. This is a thickening agent. 10 ounces of e-wax or emulsifying wax. 1 ounce of preservative, and I'm using Optifin, which is formaldehyde and paraben free, and that's one of the reasons that you got to be extra good about your sanitary purposes, because it doesn't have formaldehyde in it. It doesn't have parabens in it. It's better for your customers, but it's not as strong. Okay, and then we're going to use 4 ounces of essential oil for that. And if you're going to use tea tree, you can't use more than 1% tea tree. So that means you've got to figure out what 1% of 4 ounces is, and that's as much tea tree as you can put in there, okay? And you can combine, you can use any of them, but I'll show you what I'm going to use. All right, so we've measured out everything individually. Our hard oils are over there in a pot. And so now I'm going to take our soft, our liquid oils, I'm going to put them in the hard oils just so that they'll temper, because these are sort of cool because it's still a bit chilly in here. We've got our e-wax melting and our steric in a separate pot, and our water has boiled in another pot. And we've measured it out and put a lid on it to keep the moisture from getting away so bad in evaporation. And then we've got them all on low over there so we can show you what to do next. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to add the liquid oils to the hard oils. And you want to do it, Philip?
Sure.
There's your spatula.
Bang, bang.
Professional, that's right. And you see what he's doing? He's scraping everything out of the bowl, because the recipe calls for every bit of it, not just part of it, guys. Every bit of it. If you're unsure, you can tear your bowl out afterwards. No, you can't do that now. Never mind, that's for when we're making soap. Oh well, it was a good thought while it lasted.
Yeah.
All right, so now this will get our liquid oils. You can't make lotion with cold oil or cold water. All right, so that tempers the hard oils, the cold oils into the hard oils.
It's like the Chinese restaurant, steam pot. It out.
Yeah, so you want to hold that?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my spatula, and that oil is supposed to be in that pot that's on that spoon. And I'm going to make salad dressing. See? That's what you got to do. That's what you do. Like when you go buy that Italian salad dressing, you know, you have to shake it up, because what does oil and water do?
Separates.
They separate. That's right. They separate. Yeah. All right. So, whoop.
So you got to scrape it and warm it and blend it.
That's right. So now we've got all of that in there. Are you in a singy kind of mood? Okay, so this is getting a little close. See? You can blend it all day, but it's just gonna separate again.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna make lotion. Now I'm gonna take just a second. And what do we do to our pans?
We gotta scrape it.
We gotta scrape them.
Forget you and forget how to.
All right.
Come on now.
And you can't just do this for a little bit. You gotta do it for a lot. It's like you're beating it into submission. All right. Now it has been beaten into submission. So now we're gonna have to sit and let it wait. You know what we're gonna wait on?
Cool.
We're gonna wait to see if we're gonna have any separation. First, the bubbles will sort of pop away, and we may even take a spoon and sort of, relax some of those, break them. But what'll happen is, if we have enough emulsifying wax in here, it'll stay creamy and white on the top, like that.
Yeah.
But if we don't, little pebbles of oil will start floating to the top. And if those happen, then we got to go get some more emulsifying wax and melt it and put it in there till we get all of the oils emulsified into the water to make Lotion.
Bang.
Okay, so I don't know how well you can see, but there's even a little glob of oil that's rose from the top. Can you see the little rivers floating on the top? That's oil that did not emulsify. So we're getting an ounce of emulsifying wax ready to add to this to get that last bit of oil to emulsify in. Okay, so most of the time I end up with a little something something, but I'm not having any something somethings, no floating oils today. Everything's staying nice and creamy. I've stirred the foam until most of it's bursted. So we're looking good, and we're below 160, so I'm gonna add the essential oils. Okay, so this is our essential oils. Remember the recipe called for, make sure, 4 ounces.
All right.
And now we checked the temperature with the candy thermometer by swishing back and forth, and we made sure that we were under 160 degrees. You can add fragrance or essential oils. I know that you're not supposed to use more than 2% essential oils and for pregnant and infant, or child and pregnant women and medically unstable individuals or really sensitive skin, and then you can use up to 4% on just your average American. In England now, I think they have a 1% law because of the fact that you can only use 1% tea tree in a complete something you're going to rub all over. So they decided to just make a rule that you can't use more than 1% essential oils of any kind, which is rough. But I don't know what percentage is on fragrance, so I'm not going to try to preach that to you. All right, remember, you're beating it into submission. You really do have to beat it into submission. And this one is super powerful. If you're using a weaker model, you're going to have to beat longer than I did.
Smell good?
It does smell good, Philip. I think it smells darn good.
Oh, wow.
All right, turn that off. Turn that off a minute. Turn that off a minute. All right, turn that off a minute. I'm going to get you to do that again, though. Hang on.
Right here.
Do you know what that is? Do you see that little speck? I use unrefined shea butter and cocoa butter, and sometimes you'll get a little black speck floating up on the top, and I always like to watch for them, and it's pieces of the husk of the shea nut, which is a good thing. I like that. All right, so I'm using sodium lactate as a rancid preventer, okay? And I'm using Octobin preservative. I think it's air bubbles, we'll check. All right, because at this point, it's so cool that you're just not gonna, it happened long before. All right, and now what I do, when I called out the recipe, I told you, hang on, let me get the right one. I told you that it needed 1 ounce of preservative. So I put 1 ounce of preservative in there, and then I snuck a ½ ounce of sodium lactate in there. That's what I always do. Whatever it calls for, I put half of this in too, not instead of, but plus. So I actually put 1.5 ounces, 1 ounce of this and 1/2 ounce of that. All right, and that's to prevent rancidity, is to keep your oils from going rancid that you put in your lotion.
You don't want them to stink.
No, we don't want them to stink. All right, we're different.
You don't want no stank in your lotion.
No, can't have that.
That'd be bad for the
That'd be
people.
very, very bad. All right, poke it down in there.
Alrighty.
And I like to put it all the way down on the bottom a couple times just in case some of the heavy oils floats to the bottom. Or water, whichever the case might be.
Yeah.
Or preservative. All right. You know what we got now?
What?
We got lotion.
All right.
Smell it. What do you think?
I can smell that again.
It's calmed down now.
Yeah, that's better.
That's good.
It was the hot steam. It was riding a little hot steam up into my nose.
Uh-huh.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Sometimes I don't know what. Where do you want this?
I just leave it right here. We'll
Stand
use
by.
it again. We're making, oh, is it in your wine? No, you're fixing to
We'll
be
go
working
around.
out there, right here. Let me show you what you're doing.
I know how to pour stuff.
Well, there's a little trick to it. Now, I get these here from Brambleberry. You can get them off of Amazon. If you tilt your jar,
You don't get air in the bottom?
you won't spill as bad.
Okay.
And you fill it just to that little, where you'll see the little rim, you fill it just to the rim.
Alright.
Oh, and there goes the phones. Ring, 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 but don't stop for them because you got lotion perking. And this stuff will get thick on you in a heartbeat. So we're just gonna have to let them phones ring. And we'll see what they want later because you're making lotion. I'm making lotion. And we can't afford to let it congeal. And that's what lotion does. Once it gets at a certain temperature, it congeals. So we have to hurry. And I like to use this one here because it's got this little hook. It just sits up on the top, and that makes it very, very handy. You got it back. And I like if you got 2 people, I like to run 3 of these. And never leave any sitting in your bucket there to get thick. Now, you don't need to sit here and listen to us, watch us fill every one of these. But I do have a few little tidbits left to depart. 1, do not leave these open air. Get you some paper towels that are clean and sanitary. I prefer Viva. It's a thick paper towel, so it doesn't get damp from the steam of the lotion and cave in and touch your product. So I like Viva paper towels. And you want to lay paper towels, you smush them all up close together, don't put them under a ceiling fan, and you lay paper towels, don't separate them, take them in big runs, the full length of across, and lay them on top of your lotion, and leave them like that till the next morning, and then put your lids on and your labels, and you want to clean them with alcohol to get all the extra oil off your containers, and so that your label will fit or stick. And I use 90% alcohol. I don't know if you're supposed to stand in front of the camera.
Oh, sorry. Hope y'all liked my bottom.
He said bottoms up. So after we lay paper towels on them, then we'll leave them. Then tomorrow we'll put the lids on them, clean them with clean paper towels and 91% alcohol from either Walmart or the Dollar General. You can also buy 100% vodka clear and use vodka to clean with. Just depends on where you are with your organic sticker and your need to be natural. Make sure that you buy as many products as you can from Essential Depot because their shea butter and their cocoa butter, their argan oil, their avocado oil, their castor oil, their glycerin, they're the best you're going to find. Go nowhere else for those kind of products. So, I got to pour you up.
Slowing down on me.
I'm slowing you down.
You'll
Just slowing you down.
Don't pitch me too.
Not two. There, you take that one. You're giving them your bottom again. You forget where the camera is, boy?
No. I gotta do what I gotta do.
I'm in absolute hog heaven having my kid here with me today. I get Bridget all the time, but I don't get to see Phillip that much. Where you been working at, Phillip?
Right now nowhere, but Puerto Rico before.
Yeah, he's on a high.
I'm on the wait.
He's on the wait for the next contract to get signed and for them to send him to Puerto Rico. What are you doing over there?
Power restoration.
Power restoration. So when that, was it a hurricane that hit him?
Yep.
Yeah, a hurricane. Ooh,
30
a hurricane hit him. And
Get back there, making a video.
and so we're just waiting on them to give you the go word. Is that your mama?
No, it's a customer.
It's a customer. All right. Can I let you take over?
Yeah.
I'll fill you up 3 or 2. So Jacob here, my stepson, was here because of AA, and he's going to visit his mom this weekend, and so I asked him. I said, "Would you sit at the front counter for me?" All right. So there you go.
That one.
There you go. I stepped on my shoelace. All right, we'll bring you back. Okay, so Phillip finished her off for me. And this one here did not fill all the way, so we'll use that one as a tester. And now I'm going to take my Viva paper towels and lay them on top. And I make sure I'm not directly under an air conditioner vent or a ceiling fan. And I like to overlay just a little bit so the edges, you know, are better about not dipping in. All right. Now I'm going to tell you the percentages of the oils for those of you that might like to slightly modify the lotion recipe slightly. So this is 75% water. You would do this on the Lotion batch calculator online. It is 4% shea butter, 1% coconut oil, 1% olive oil, 1% argan oil, 1% castor oil, 2% stearic acid, 10% emulsifying wax. This is 1% preservative and 4% essential oil. And you can knock that down to 2% if you would prefer. Remember, if you're using tea tree, you would have to figure out what 1% of 4 ounces is and only use 1% because, well, no, I take that back. You would have to divide it into 4, so it would be only 1%, which would be an ounce. So because it's 4% and we've got 4 ounces, so that's easy. Tea tree, you cannot use more than 1 ounce. All right, so
a number divided by 4 is 25%.
well, it's 4% of the recipe already,
Oh,
the
okay.
essential oils. I was thinking it'd be 1% of 4 ounces, but it's not because that 4 ounces was 4% of the recipe. So we need to know what 1% of the recipe is, and that would be 1 ounce. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to let those cool overnight, and tomorrow we're going to put lids on them first thing, and we've got our alcohol in our bottle. We're going to clean them real good with alcohol and paper towels.
Could you use wax paper instead of paper towels if you had that?
I think so. I'd put the wax side up though. The steam coming up against that wax might cause wax to melt and drip down in your tinfoil. But you know, people worry about aluminum getting
Might
into
sweat too.
Yeah, and it'd sweat and it wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't breathe. That's right. It wouldn't breathe. Aluminum would keep it from breathing, and actually wax paper would probably stop some breathing because that wax barrier. But with this, you can already see the steam coming up through the little circles there, so it can breathe. But it doesn't sweat, and that's what happens if you put the lids on the If you put the lids on immediately, then your water will rise up out of the hot lotion and accumulate on the bottom of the lid, and then it will fall down on the top of your product, and boom, you have.
But you got water.
You got
Need your
water.
lotion.
You got water on
You
your
just made
lotion.
it, and it's wrong. And you know what you got? A frown. You got a frown on.
Hey, Philip, does this look like this?
Yeah, it looks like that. The frown.
All right, so I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I've enjoyed making this video. There's probably things I should tell you more, but I don't know what they are. And besides, we're trying to make this one short, right?
Yeah.
Okay, high five.
High five.
Bye, everybody.